So game week 21 in the Premier League began last night where 4 matches were played. Welcome to Happy 90. This is Miranik and we are going to talk about all those 4 matches which happened. But firstly, we'll be focusing on the Liverpool's match against Nottingham Forest, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Something which I said at the start of the stream, watch-along stream, that we were doing last night, that we shouldn't be repeating the performances which we did against United, which we did against Spurs. But nothing changed. Looked like first half we were just so wasteful. Didn't look like a team that were playing before the start of 2025. There were no signs of that sort of Liverpool. And we did against the side which came to Anfield and defeated us in the home fixture earlier in the season, which was the only defeat in the league and is still the only defeat in the league. But against Nottingham, we were again back with same performance. Of course, as things changed in the second half, but first half was so wasteful. We were forcing passes which shouldn't happen, and at least not from the best players of the passing, which is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was just forcing passes a lot of time to Cody Gakpo, which we saw, and he couldn't receive it. When you are forcing it with too much power, how are you expecting a player to be receiving those passes? So that was constantly happening in the first half. Of course, other players were also lacking their sharpness. They were not precise with what they want to do and were losing the ball often. The starting 5 to 10 minutes looked like we are in a better mood to attack, but all the shots we were trying were off the target, for way of the goalpost. So there were 3 attempts in the early 6 minutes as far as I remember, and all those 3 were way off the mark. And throughout the first half, we didn't have a single shot on target. So that's how poor we were. And with the way we conceded that first goal that came from Wood, there were 3 players involved. I think a pass was played from from Konate towards Salah, who couldn't win the ball. And that's the moment where from Nottingham players got on the ball and they played a pass to Ilanga. And a couple of players were out of position, one being Konate, other being a midfielder, McAllister. He was not on his man because that was the region from where the pass went to Ilanga. And all he had to do was to play that perfect pass to Chris Wood. So we were scattered out from our position, and that's what good teams will do. They will punish you if you are not on the right places to stop the attack of the opposing side. That's where they got the first goal from. And moving on up till the end of the first half, we were just forcing things, committing mistakes, not keeping the ball in the final third. That's where we were losing the ball a lot, and there were good moments for Nottingham to punish us on the counter, some of which they missed, but what mattered is there was one good chance and they scored. So going to halftime, a goal lead was there. And still, after the second half started, the early 10 minutes, we were again not in the right movement. We were trying, but didn't look like things were working out until the substitutes were done. And one such substitute was just on point. Diogo Jota comes in from bench. Right within 21 seconds, he scores a leveler, a header which was unmarked from none of the Forest players. They couldn't see the way he just went within the bodies and found the header to level us up with 1-1. So things picked up from there. We had a lot of chances, couple of chances coming in from Mo Salah, and he was looking to swing the ball inside, but always missing the part where he wanted the ball to be hitting, that is the far side of the post. And brilliant saves from Sells. There was one chance for Jota as well, where he shot the ball and Sells coming in with a brilliant save, the Belgium goalkeeper of Forest. So there were moments we were trying a lot in the second half with the changes that we done. One change was taking Konate off. We were just playing with one centre back, but makeshift centre back was groundwork there. So we were in a 4-2-4 system to right them and were building a lot of attacks. That was not the case in the first half, at least. So Luis Diaz was taken off, Jota was brought in. Later on, we replaced one more player, attacker, for midfielder, which was Curtis Jones. So we were trying to get the chances, but still the final output was not happening. And as a result, it ended in a 1-1 draw. So in totality, not a big loss for both the teams. In terms of the points, 2 points dropped, but it's a point gain by Forest. They didn't do a league double over us, so that's a good thing, but they took 2 points away from Liverpool, and now a lot depends on the North London derby. If Spurs do manage to put on a good show against Arsenal, then we could be little eased up, because we still will have a game in hand, and we are right now 6 points at distance with Nottingham Forest. If we win our next match, which will be away match to Brentford, we'll be back again with a 9 point difference, and that should be the target for us to be winning the next 3 matches up till the February, which are one is against Brentford, then other 2 are Ipswich Town, which we should be doing well in. And after that, we have Bournemouth, away game at Bournemouth, which is on the 1st of the February. So it won't be that easy a fixture, but still we should be aiming to get a win against Bournemouth. At least that should be expected. Whereas for Nottingham, not a win, but they are an unbeaten run, which extends to 6 matches. Before that, they've won 5 matches in a go. So that's the case with the Liverpool and Forest match. Moving on to talk about the other game was Brentford getting a draw against Man City. City, who were winning it 2-0, and then happens to come back from Brentford in the last 10 minutes of the match, where in 80th minute they score a goal, and later in 90+2 they get the leveler. So City couldn't get a win after getting 2 wins back to back, which was one against Leicester City, and after that they won 4-1 against West Ham United. We'll talk about West Ham United, but before that there was another match which happened, which is Chelsea playing a draw against Bournemouth. Expectation was Chelsea will get the win, but which did not happen, and they were at one point about to lose the game. They were 2-1 down, and in the 90+5th minute there was a free kick which was taken from Reece James, which made sure Chelsea are at least not losing that game, at least, because their last 4 results haven't been too good in terms of the points gained. They have held a couple of losses, 2 draws. Before that, they had 5 wins, which was a good run of games they were having. They were unbeaten as well, I think, since October. But the latest 5 matches haven't had a good outcome for Chelsea. So 3 draws so far they have, and a couple of losses. So they are nowhere close to title race at this point. The teams that are near to Liverpool are Arsenal and Nottingham Forest, and will be on Liverpool if we drop further points in the next 3 matches. Then the gap is likely to be narrowed down, but we'll have to be careful on that. Anyways, Chelsea versus Bournemouth was a draw, and the last match which happened at the night was West Ham against Fulham. So it was first match for Graham Potter, the former Brighton and Chelsea manager. He has been appointed recently, and David Moyes been appointed as manager for Everton. So 3 goals scored from West Ham made sure that they are getting 3 points from the game in the first match of Graham Potter. So he'll be the happiest man on the day 1 of the game week 21, whereas things to ponder about for Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City.